Welcome everyone to DTR Division 2. We're in sunny France. Lovely rain, lovely. It's going to create carnage. There's a lot of boys in this field really looking forward to this track. And for some reason I can't pick up any of the cars that are out on track. Jordan on softs, I'm assuming that's going to change. Well, we're about to find out. Are we finally going to get a car? We are. Stuart is on track in the Alpine. So let's get rid of the tyre choices. I don't know if the sound is a bit weird for you guys, but the sound of the car doesn't seem to be matching where they are on the track. But anyway, I'm just going to check that we're live. So just bear with me 1 second. Yeah, it looks like we're live, I think. I'm not sure I can hear myself though.
Yeah, it looks.
There we go.
We're live, I think.
Cool. Right, sorry about that. We haven't missed anything yet. I just wanted to check we were actually live and on YouTube because it catches me out sometimes. But here we go. Stuart coming over the line to start this qualifying session in the pouring rain. Plenty of spray coming off the car, but I'll take you on a lap of France. So Stuart chucks it into turn 1, immediately flicks into turn 2. That is a dangerous curve, as you can see. A bit slippery in the wet. It's not that easy in the dry either. You've got a fast right-hander coming up. You do have to get on the brakes slightly, and again, just gets out of the throttle. And there we go. He's invalidated already. The car behind him is a Haas. Is it Evan? It's not Evan. It's his teammate. Where's his teammate in this list? Connor. We'll jump on with Connor then. So now it's a long right-hand bend, which then turns into a kink, and it begins the back straight. DRS zone just there. He won't be opening his DRS in the rain as he comes flying down this longest straight, and it turns into a left-hander, almost a bit of a chicane, sort of hairpin at the end. And I think in some tracks it just becomes one long straight, but not for F1. And then we're going to go flat out in this right-hander. Is it flat out in the rain? Oh wait, Connor's blooming invalidated as well. Right, let's go to his teammate then. Come on then. Oh, he's invalidated as well. Who's we've got Williams. Is it Wazza? Oh, we'll watch Wazza. He's on an outlap. Oh, I'm having a mare. What about Xavi? Here we go. He's in sector 3. Oh, he looked like he cut quite a lot of that corner. He got away with it though. And this corner's quite tricky. It's long and it tightens up right at the end. Xavi's navigated that well, but just gets a bit out of shape. And that red and white curbing will be very, very slippery in these conditions. But anyway, you throw so much speed into this long left-hand hairpin. You get into a tight right-hand hairpin, and then you're straightening the car up and throwing it down the straight with another DRS zone there. And you're back across the line. And Xavi, first person to put in a time, a 1:39.5. Pretty good in the rain, I think. What about Joe then? He is just flying down the straight now. In the middle of sector 2. And he either got a bit of wheel spin there, or the car was just struggling a bit for grip. Yeah, not quite flat through there, not in the rain, it is in the dry. What's going on? Oh, Joe's left the session and it's put him back in the pit. That's strange. Maridacco in with a 39.4. Mikey coming round the third. Oh, he's on an outlap. What is going on? It forced me to move from Joe there. Like, I'm not just randomly swapping players, but we'll stick with Mikey. Turn 1. Throw it in there, boy. That's nice and neat, that. Uses all the track. clips the apex, doesn't get too greedy. And again, like you can see him opening up the corner, keeping to the left-hand side of the track. But really struggled to get the car slowed down there. That, oh, it's not invalidated. It must be because he lost a bit of time. He is purple though, and you can cut as much of that kink as you can. Boy, he nearly looked like he was going to lose the back end there, but holds on to it. Stewart now with a 39. We're getting very close to the 38s. Don't know if the track is due to improve or not. If it does improve, these times will continue to tumble, but people are putting in their banker lap. And apparently a purple second sector. We've got a Mercedes getting out of the way. Little lift from Mikey. And this is such a long corner. It's really awkward. Comes all the way back on itself. And this is the tight corner we saw Xavi around earlier. So it just keeps going and going and then suddenly tightens up. And then you've got to launch yourself out. In the dry, generally you keep yourself on that curb on the right hand side, but not in the wet by the look of it. And that corner tightens up quite quickly as well. So out the final chicane then, where's Mikey going to be? The map was suggesting this should be pole. It's not quite going to be, I don't think. It's a 39.7 and goes 6th for now. Who else have we got down here? Athanasiou has invalidated. His teammate's invalidated. What about Zettervold? Then he's coming over the line in the other Alpine. And this looks reasonably quick. It is. It's a 38.9. Zettervold. Oh, a front row lockout provisionally for the Alpines. Well done, Zettervold. And we're into the 38s. Have we got Evan on a lap? We're in the third sector now. Been a really good qualifier recently. He's coming in the pits, so no. What about Bog then? He hasn't set a time yet. Coming out onto the back straight in his Alfa Romeo and my teammate tomorrow night. Getting some practice in. Cheeky. No reason not to be quicker than me tomorrow now. And he's getting a nice helping of Slipstream, and Nell Boy is actually out of quali. I don't know if he did that intentionally. Guna with a 38.8 provisionally on pole, so the Alpines get pegged back slightly. And Bob now in sector 3. 4 more corners to go roughly. And again, you have to run it out wide to start with on that corner and bring it back in. DRS enabled. That must mean that we're starting to clear up a bit. So this could be interesting, because by the end of the qualifying, we might be on soft tyres. I mean, it's suggesting it's soft tyres now. That's Reliot. Provisional pole, and Bog is invalidated on the last corner. Nightmare. So I wonder if that's the thinking behind some of these guys here. You don't need to come out right now. Because this is just going to continue to get better and better. What it does do is start eating into your tyre allocation for the weekend. Wazza currently 7/10 up on his time. So yeah, these times are going to tumble and tumble now. We've got the DRS open, which means that immediately they're going to pick up some extra pace just from being able to open that little letterbox on the back of their wing. Gives them so much more straight line speed. I'm not sure of the exact amount of miles per hour you get for it. But yeah, it's going to make a hell of a difference. And Wazza rounding the last corner. And I assume that anyone that comes out now will start to be on soft tyres. And there you go, Wazza goes into second, and these guys in the pits are currently sat there on soft tyres. So yeah, not a surprise really. Reliot must be surely on his way back to the pits. He is. I'd imagine all of these people are on their way back to the pits, because the Inters are just not going to be where it's at. Have we got anyone out on a lap on soft? What about Athanasiou then? Both the Aston Martin boys on track on the softs. I don't think it's worth watching anyone now on the Inters, because they've got to come in and change it. Not really sure what Athanasiou's waiting for there. Ooh, a bit slippery there for Athanasiou. Here he goes. He's out the final corner, and we're going to watch our first driver on the soft tyres. And what sort of lap can he put in with the DRS wide open? We've got a 37.1 from Xavi on 5-lap-old inters. I just don't see that time is going to hold up. Mainly because, yeah, we're on the soft tyres. This is going to be quicker, and you can see he's purple already. Athanasiou, he's quick as it is. I might even get rid of the tyre graphic now because I think it's just going to become irrelevant any second. And look at that. I mean, Xavi on the inters, 1.5 seconds quicker than Reliot, who did his lap time at least 2 or 3 minutes ago. So that's how much the track has improved. We've got a 34.5 from Berserk on the soft tyres. I think you're looking low 30s, late 29s would be a good lap time. I mean, you'd imagine the track is going to be fairly cold based on the fact it's just rained. And here we go, look at that on mediums, 33.9. So I'm expecting big things here from Athanasiou. And here he comes onto the final straight, ready to put his first lap time in. I think it's going to take him to pole, personally. It is. It's a 32.3. So that's the benchmark, people. What about Jordan? He's not set a lap yet. He's on the soft tyre. So he's Athanasiou half a second ahead of Stewart, and Connor's just made his way in there. But look at that, Xavi that did that on the inters, 4.5 seconds behind. So yeah, the inters were never going to hold up. And it's all about this last run. Conditions completely different to how we started this session. Jordan is rounding the final corner now, gets a little bit slippery on the way out of the final corner. Is this going to be enough to take pole, which is now a 31.1? Not quite, look at that, 1/100th of a second off. That is extremely tight, and Nexton is quick. So, yeah, really surprised at that. We've got Reliot 2.5 seconds up on his time. Needs a lot more than that. Nearly 7 seconds you'll see on the left-hand side. Zettervold gets within 3/100ths of a second. So it's all getting a little bit closer now. We've got Reliot gone purple, apparently, according to the mini-map. I still think there's more time in this. I think the last person across the line is going to benefit because these guys are rubbering in the track. And you can just see how much more aggressive they can be. Some of these lines, some of the speed they're throwing in there, they've just got so much more grip. And here we go, Reliot rounds the final corner. What time is he going to put in? I wouldn't be surprised if he's up there with these guys at the top. And he's pole for now of 1:30.6. We're going to keep seeing this continue to improve, I think. TJL Stewart coming across the line to start a lap. Don't sound so excited. Maridarko, he has invalidated. What about Bog? He's on his way across the line now on soft tyres. What's he going to do? It's not going to be enough for pole, but it is enough to get into the top 5. That's a good quali from him so far. We've got 3 minutes left, I think, roughly. Stewart is a second down his time, needs more than that, but he's got 2 sectors left to go, so plenty of time to eat into that time. Reliot, provisional pole. Nexton, look at that, I mean, half a second. He only did that lap about a second ago. Just shows you how much the track is improving all the time. It is going to be about being the last person to cross the line, and then it's about sticking it on track and making it happen. So Stuart purple, first sector. Nexton has decided that he will end his qualifying session there and retires. What Stuart managed to bank. He was 9/10 up in the first sector. He will have been eaten into that time as he got round to this part of the track. Can he nick pole for now? This is going to be close. It looks good. Yes, it's a 30.3 and provisional pole. Stuart back on top again. How long for his teammate? I'm not sure if he's improving. Let me just see if I can see his ERS light. That will tell me if he's actually completing a full lap. Go on camera. No, he's not on a lap. Bog, not on a lap. Lots of people on outlaps. What about Gunnar? He looks a bit racy. No, he's flashing. Maridarko? He is on a lap. What's Maridarko doing then? And he's generally been very, very good in qualifying. Maybe not quite so good when it comes to hanging around in the race. Look how aggressive he's been. The amount of speed he's bringing into these corners. It's no wonder he's a qualifying expert. Just got to translate that on track. So Jordan looks like he's on an outlap. He's 8/10 back. Zetovo 8/10 back. He's gone in the pit. That's him done now. And here comes Maridarko. Has he got enough to dislodge the top? He hasn't, but he is enough to get third. That's not a bad result. We've got a Mercedes coming across the line. That's Mikey. And he is the last man to cross the line. So we're going to watch his lap and we'll try and watch the leaderboard as it comes through. And let's get out of the way there, Mr. Maridarko. I think that's you. So Mikey with the advantage. He's now just got to make it stick. Hackett goes into third. What a good quali session from him. Jordan is finished. Zetovol's finished. Hackett's finished. Reliot's finished. Stuart is in the pits. We've got Hayward that's joined him now. 3/10 back on your pole sitter. What's Mikey doing? On his way down the straight. And Berserk has actually made his way a 10th behind Stuart. And these are pretty good lap times based on the conditions that we've had. But again, like I said, the track is just improving every second. And Mikey will be the last one to take the checkered flag. So will he be able to improve? Bog is done. Honky's done. And we're running out of drivers. But Athanasiou sticks it on pole, a 29.9. So Mikey, can he make this advantage count? Xavi takes it now, 29.7. I told you the track just continues to improve. Gunnar's up there in third. Waz is up there in fifth. Lots going on here. Can Mikey nick pole? It's not going to be enough for pole, but it is enough for 13th. So that is your qualifying order. A bit disappointing there from Mikey at the end. Last car across the line. Told you have to make it stick. So Xavi, who seems to be improving week on week, he takes pole, 29.7. 2/10 back, Athanasiou. 4/10 back, Gunnar in third. TGL 6/10 back, Wazza then 7/10, Berserk 7/10, Reliot 8/10, Hackett 9, Connor 9, and then in P10 Hayward 1 second back, but you know, pretty much the whole field separated by about 2 seconds. It's going to be a close race. And now it's all about strategy. So now I'll be interested to see if we get any rain during the race. We know there's clouds in the air. So just to reconfirm that, Gunnar with a 5-place grid pen. Didn't see that come up. So we've got Xavi on pole, Athanasiou in second. Gunnar, technically, will be dropping down to about 8th place. Stuart in 4th, Wazza in 5th. Berserk 6th, Reliot 7th, Hackett 8th, Connor 9th, Hayward 10th. Maridarko then in 11th, Rainman 12th, Mikey 13th, Nexton 14, Jordan 15, Zetovo, Bog, Honky, Evan didn't set a time, Nellboy doesn't often participate in qualifying, likes to start from the back, and don't write him off winning this race. And it looks like it's going to be a dry one. There are clouds lurking. Wonder if we'll get some rain a bit later on in the race, maybe. I sort of hope so. Causes a bit of carnage. And as viewers, we love a bit of carnage. So we're just waiting for the drivers to select their strategy, pick how many laps of fuel they're going to drive. And then we'll be watching the formation lap. So it shouldn't be too much longer. They have a certain amount of time that they have to set their setups. Here we go then. The formation lap is underway. We're going to have 27 racing laps. Formation lap does not count as a racing lap. This is the opportunity for the drivers to get their tyres warmed up and in a good window, ready to pile into the first corner, 3 wide. Just try and give you a very quick update on where we're at in this championship. We've got Jordan leading the way after a DNF last week in Austria. And in fact, the top 3 all DNF'd, which is Jordan, Nexton and Mikey. They're separated by 10 points, the 3 of them. Reliot then won the race and brings himself right up into contention. He's 4th in the championship. Zettervold on 20 points. We've then got Maridarko, Honky, Guna, the Rain Man and Xavi that make up the top 10. They're all above 10 points, below 20 points. That's that sort of region. And then we've got quite a few other drivers that have scored points this season. Xavi will be looking to try and join that party at the top today from pole position in his Williams. The Constructors is being led by the Mercedes team, which is Mikey and Reliot. Ferrari are close behind them, 4 points back. And that's made up of Nexton and Maridarko, who have been in some really great positions this season, just haven't converted it. Should have been more for them. And then we've got McLaren again, just close enough to Ferrari there for them to be looking over their shoulder. And that is Jordan and Brandon. Again, a very, very strong partnership. So that's the Constructors' battle to watch out for. One man definitely to watch out for is Wazza, who's not been able to complete a race yet this season, DNF'd all 3 races. Maybe we'll watch him into turn 1. Where is he on the grid? He's 4th, so we'll have a good eye on him. But anyway, they're back to the starting grid. We're up to date with the standings. And we've got a few drivers out of position. Jordan back in 15th. Mikey back in 13th. The Ferrari of Maridarko and Nexton both outside the top 10. So if they can find some pace, it's going to be interesting. But we're going to watch from behind the grid here. We're waiting for the lights to go. Here they come. And away they go. And Xavi looks like he's got a slow start there. The Alpine of TGL Stewart actually looks like it's got away well. We're on board with Wazza here in 4th place, just about to be 5th. And they're making their way into turn 1. Xavi keeps his lead. Athanasiou gets a bit frisky there with Stewart. And Wazza actually comes through that clean. So will he be able to complete a race today? We're about to find out. Hackett side by side here with the Mercedes. But that's been clipped. And there's is that a Ferrari or is that an Alpha? I can't tell. It was a red car, and there's a bit of argy-bargy there as well between Berserk and TGL by the look of it. So who's been caught up in that? Nellboy's at the back, Maridarko's back there, Evan, Bog is back there. Relia is the one that looks like he got caught up. I think he was the Mercedes that we were looking at there, and Athanasiu's having a look at Xavi early on, but will not make that move. Nexton's on his way up. He's with Connor side by side, and he can't find his way through. So Maridarko must have been the red car that I was talking about. And again, just didn't recognise the Vegas livery on it. But Jordan's actually piling some pressure on Nexton. Nexton's looking down the inside, and they've both got to be careful around there. And they have been so far. Connor, can Nexton bully his way past? He's on the inside, and he surely will sweep round the inside here. He will. And there's actually a battle right behind them. Zetavolt and Jordan. Jordan keeps his place. And actually, the Rain Man trying to join in on that a little bit. Just looking a bit further up the field. Nothing too close further up the field. Hayward probably the one closing in on Guna in front. So we'll jump on board with him. And they make their way down the pit straight now. Xavi keeping his lead. In first place. Athanasiu's actually dropped back about half a second. Waz is behind him. Williams having a great day today. Jordan does get past Connor. And Wazza actually starting to put a bit of pressure on Athanasiu. So very quick here today then, Wazza. Keep it on track. He might find himself on the podium at the least. And we're actually going to watch it from Berserk's point of view, because all four of these cars are very, very close together. And there is the first gap being made. Oh, Relia, what's happened to him? Wonder if Arsenal scored. He looks like he's gone round. But yeah, the front of this grid, Williams, Aston Martin, Williams, Aston Martin. So big days for those constructors. But TGL Stewart now a second back, which is the danger zone, and it looks like a Red Bull of Hackett is starting to put a bit of pressure on. It's not Hackett, it's Joe actually behind Guna, trying to put some pressure on. Oh, he runs into the back of Guna then, and he caught him out. I think some people take that corner very, very differently. As Zetavolt gets past Connor. Connor's starting to drop back down the field a little bit here. And actually, Hayward's actually on the soft tyres. That's probably going to prompt me to go and look at what everyone's on. There are some different strategies here. So no wonder Stewart's dropped off the back. He's on the hard tyre. The front four on mediums. Hackett joining him. Guna's going long on the hards. Joe on the softs. Wants to make up places quickly. Mikey on the mediums. Up into 9th. And Nexton into the top 10 on softs as well. And yeah, again, Jordan mediums. And then a bit of a mix down the back end of the field. Maridarko looks like he's pitted. Relia, I think, is pitted as well. No, Relia hasn't pitted, sorry. But oh, look at that. Mikey making a move on Hayward. We're on board with Hayward, so we didn't see the full thing, but Mikey sneaks through. Good move from Mikey then. Can he push his way a bit further down the field? Nexton now is the one putting pressure on Joe. So Joe's gone from attacking Guna to being under pressure. Let's get rid of these tyre choices, just so we get a bit more room. Hayward again, and it looks like Nell and Bog quite close together on track. Hayward's trying to get that place back from the Mercedes. Huge train of traffic. Berserk actually has dropped off the back of the front four, and TGL Stewart is all over the back of him. Let's get on board with that. They're side by side, look, round this sector 3, and Berserk can't hold on to that. So big gain there for Stewart, especially on the harder tyre. And Nexton is now round Joe. And the McLaren of Jordan also having a look to try and get past. So lots of action here, trying to keep up with it all. I'll try and catch as much of it as I can. And Nexton's flashing already, so he's using absolutely everything to try and get past. And Athanasiu's going for Xavi here by the look of it. Turn 1, he's got so much overspeed, he had to get out of the throttle a little bit there so he didn't run into the back of him. Evan past Honky a bit further down the field. No, Evan into the pits, that's why. And I've said it over the last couple of weeks, but Athanasiu's improved his racecraft dramatically, in my opinion. He's been so much better, and actually be further up there in the championship if he had just done a better job of picking a strategy. And here he goes for the lead of the race. Now, just got to manage that ERS. Waz is having a look at his teammate here as well. He's getting the drag here, and Stuart and Berserk having a go, but Stuart manages to defend the position. Will he be a bit out of shape down this second part of the straight? Look at the drive Berserk's got here. So he's lined it up nicely. Berserk down the inside. Bit of a wheel bang there. Nothing too much. And Stuart's coming back at him. Stuart does love to run extra wing. Quite an aggressive driver in the corners. And Hackett is also all over the back of Guna. But look at Mikey on the back of him as well. And look at this. Bit of a car park. Nexton wants to get past Mikey, and it's just a queue of cars. Really, if you're the people in this pack, you want to be trying to charge a bit of battery here and not be the person that drains it all. Because it would just be a major advantage a bit later on. Joe is getting swallowed up here by Zettervold and Jordan. I wouldn't be surprised if he loses both of these places by the end of the straight. And look at that, Jordan squeezing his way down the outside. And they leave each other space. That's really good driving. And Jordan just gives him enough track. Guna only a 10th back from Stuart. They're both on the hard tyre. So Stuart's struggling since he got overtaken by Berserk again. And that should be a warning for track limits there. I think his whole car was outside the line. Guna trying to slingshot here. And he's already got the overspeed before he gets the DRS. And the DRS is open. And that should be... Oh, it's not easy. But he's going to make it, and he will get the inside of the corner. I'd be surprised if Stuart can hang that round the outside. And look at that just behind Mikey attacking Hackett. He's looking for a better exit. Actually gets a bit slippery on exit. And now we've got Nexton and Zettervold fighting. Nexton actually going backwards after trying to move forwards. Look at this. Like, you can see his battery is absolutely suffering, and it is hard work here without battery. And we're just trying to watch that battle with Mikey just up front, to see if he can force his way past Hackett. But nothing doing just yet. This is a massive DRS train. Wazza has broke the gap to his teammate Xavi now. No, sorry, other way around. Oh, and that's Mikey that's run wide. What's happened there? What happened to Mikey? He's just trying to fight Nexton now for position. He's lost it. So something big happened there. He's going to drop another couple of places. So yeah, tucks in behind Jordan. So a big mistake there from Mikey. He's given up plenty of track position there. And look at Stuart all the way back here. Guna up into 4th place. He must have overtaken both in that DRS train. And you would imagine without a safety car, you would think that those front three should be able to tie up this podium. Mikey's still looking a little bit out of shape from that earlier incident. But if you look at this, like from 12th all the way up to 5th, they're all within a couple of corners of each other. So, you know, the pace being shown here by this this group, phenomenal. But Wazza and Xavi look like they're trying to help each other here. They're using the DRS to try and bring Athanasu back into range. Berserk on Guna. It wasn't close enough to make a move, but I think, as he did with TGL earlier, is trying to get a better drive out of that chicane or hairpin. Guna now struggling with DRS, which is not a surprise, being at the front of that queue. Berserk now in front and will take over the DRS. Oh, there's a big crash behind! There's 2 cars. That's Stuart. And it's not his teammate Zettervold as well, is it? Oh my god, the 2 Alpines. It wasn't the Alpines that came together. That's going to be a safety car. It is. I don't think it was... I think it was Contact. And I can't remember who it was, but... Oh, Jordan and Mikey have come together, and that gives Mikey a penalty. That's unfortunate. That was just where the safety car had come out. So we are getting the front 4 pit. Guna and Nexton... No, Nexton was on the soft, so he's in, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised to see Guna staying out on the hards. We're getting pit lane penalties all over the place. Hackett stays out by the look of it. And Nellboy's going to stay out as well. So he picks up a ton of positions after starting at the back. And it looks like Reliot's staying out as well. And will just be behind Athanasu. So the only car that he didn't manage to jump. And look at this double stack from Alpine where they got taken out together. Yeah, not a good moment that for Alpine, unfortunately. So Athanasu is the net leader of the race. The front cars still have to pit. Reliot has to... does he have to pit? I think he might have pitted already, you know? No, he didn't, did he? So yeah, Athanasiou is the net leader of the race. And what tyre has everyone gone to now? I don't think the hards might make it to the end. So Athanasiou in a good spot. Xavi might struggle to get the mediums there. I'm sure you could get them there, but they might be a bit scorched by the end. Jordan decides to go on another set of softs. So he's praying for another safety car, but to try and make up some positions in the meantime. And look at the whole back of the field. It's gone medium or soft, so trying to be aggressive. We get back in the race. Saguna leads, hasn't pitted. Hackett behind him, Nellboy behind him. Nellboy, remember, started 20th, up into 3rd, not pitted yet though. Athanasiou, the first car that has pitted. I don't think Relic has pitted. He's in 5th. Then we've got Xavi and Wazza, who are doing a good job in 2nd and 3rd. And to be honest, that is their position for now. Berserk 8th, next in 9th, Jordan 10th. And then the big losers there were the Alpines. And Mikey was having a bit of trouble, but I think Mikey might have been one of the cars that was involved with the Alpine, or maybe not, maybe he was a bit further back actually. Just can't picture who it was. So we've got the last car just catching the back of the field, so hopefully we'll be racing again. Cool, so it is going to come in, and Guna has taken over the control of the pack. And just to remind you, you've got Hackett and Noble behind, who hasn't pitted. Athanasiou is the first one that has, and within the lead of the race, just as the safety car came out. Guna's gone, and I think that's actually caught Hackett out. He saw that there was a gap behind him and thought, no, I'm going now, and it's really worked for him. He's 8 tenths already, so he's out of DRS range, and that is huge because it's going to make it difficult for the cars behind to catch unless they've got raw pace on Guna, which you'd have to have a lot of pace for that. Really, it's also a second back. Xavi's put him under pressure and is through already. Can his teammate Wazza also do the same to him? Remember, Relia on, I think, about 6 lap old hard tyres, and Wazza has to pull him behind. So huge pressure. There's already a gap then. Xavi 1.5 seconds back. DRS does not turn on just yet. Guna has created a second gap at the front. Nellboy putting the pressure on Hackett. Here comes Wazza onto the back straight. He's tucked in behind, and that's not going to be too difficult by the end of this. There is a bit of fighting just behind. We've got Jordan, Berserk, and Next and all trying to battle it out. Berserk looks like, can't remember if he was through there already, but he's going to be putting some pressure on Relia any second now. Looks like Nailboy has decided for patience. Here he comes though. So he backs out of it. Thought he could have gone down the inside there, but waits for a better opportunity. Berserk does get past Relia. We've seen Berserk making moves out that corner all day. So he's lining people up very well out of there. And Jordan gets past Relia too. So Relia really starting to struggle on those hard tyres. And actually Nexton's through on him now as well. So having a rough time there, Relia. Jordan pushing Berserk along now. Less than a tenth between them. And Xavi putting some pressure on Athanasu, and they have all pitted actually, so now they're back in DRS range. This could start to turn into a battle again. We'll get DRS on the next lap. Here goes Jordan on Berserk. Can he make it stick? Nailboy and Hackett look like they're side by side. They are. Nailboy's got the better drive, and actually it's put Hackett into some big trouble. As Xavi goes through, there was a mess there. I've seen it. Yeah, it was. I think that's. Is it Berserk or is it Athanasu? It is Athanasu. Athanasu and Hackett got caught up together there. Just saw the back end of it. No safety car. It looks like they're both still going. All drivers are still in this race, but Xavi now putting some pressure on Nailboy with fresh medium tyres. And through he goes up into second, so big gains. This Williams team look like they're on for some big points. Now we've got Wazza and Nailboy. What a battle this is going to be. Best of friends. Don't tend to come together very often, especially not under on the big occasion. And Wazza looks like he's going to go down the inside here, and he should make that stick. Nailboy won't fight that too hard. He knows he's on fresher tyres. So we've got Jordan, his teammate, behind him, but actually Nell is a reserve. Oh, and he's hit him, and he's hit Nell off onto the side of the road. Is it a safety car? It is. Is that Nell out? I don't think he's out. Oh man, but he's in the wall. That's no good, man. I don't think it was intentional, but he just carried far more speed, just tapped him and knocked him over. But Guna decides to pit now, which is an interesting tactic because that is just going to put him to the back of the field. But if he puts in his mediums, only 15 laps needed. And Nailboy has got moving again. So we still haven't lost any cars, and I'm hoping this safety car, I mean, it'll be 2 laps. Hopefully won't be out too long. We've got a big list of cars going into the pits. Bog makes up a ton of places. Connor in 7th. Haywood with a penalty up in 5th. Rainman up in 4th, so he's a big winner. And Xavi and Wazza only had just pitted, so they're comfortable to stay out and actually just preserves their tyre life a little bit more. So not the end of the world for them either. But yeah, Jordan got a big apology to make there, I think. We was on board with it. Just got too greedy with the speed he took in and took his teammate out with him. $16 laps left to go. I'm going to spend at least another 2 of them behind the safety car. So all the cars are now I've now caught up with the grid. Honky's decided to go into the pit. Not sure why. But he'll be caught back up again by the end of this lap, and we hope we'll see the safety car go straight back in. And we can get back on with some racing. So a very good day for the Williams crew at the minute, first and second. I don't think they'll want any more safety cars. Let's see what the tyre situation is like. Most people behind them on the same tyre compound, pitted at the same time, so they've got to feel comfortable with that. Xavi will feel that a little bit more comfortable about making those mediums last to the end. Connor on the soft, surprised he didn't hit, to be honest. Unless he thinks he can take them to the end, but that'll be horrible. And then Guna, the first of the cars that pitted the second time round, had to change compound, so he was due to come in. And we'll have 15 laps to do. It will technically say 16, but 15 racing laps to do on those medium tyres, and we'll want to come and attack these hard runners, but got a lot of cars to get through to make that happen. So Nelboy sadly not in the race, and the safety car does peel off, so we're going to get Xavi taking control of the pack. Will there be a bit of teamwork on this restart, where Wazza tries to defend his teammate's position for him? You're not allowed to be more than 10 car lengths away from the car in front. But there does look like there's nearly a second gap between Berserk and Wazza already, so the two Williams have been able to go flying off. So if now Xavi can tow Wazza away from Berserk, that could be huge. There's a big gap for the Rain Man just further behind, so really, if there's no more safety car, this is in Williams' hands. Where are the close battles further back? Connor's already losing a second. Stewart's up on Hackett already. Zetterfall has got Guna on his tail. Probably the car to watch for now, as Berserk can't quite make it underneath that gap as Evan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Zetterfall runs a little wide there, might have been a warning. Wazza right on the back of his teammate, but they're not going to want to fight too hard. They're going to use that slipstream effect to get away from Berserk and take some big team points. Guna only a tenth back, but Zettervall looking forward rather than backwards on Connor, and they're already on the back of him. And Guna's actually got Jordan for company now. Mikey is towards the back of the field. Athanasiu's trying to make his way back up after the incident that paused the safety car. I'm not sure whose fault it was. Couldn't quite see it, just caught the back end of it. Zettervall really putting pressure on Connor here. And the Williams at the front is going to want to continue to try and build that gap. And the best thing for them is that they've got the Rain Man on Berserk, putting pressure on him. So that's all they could really ask for. Wazza outside of DRS, they don't really want that. I mean, Xavi might. Wazza needs to try and stay in touch there if he can. We've got Guna trying to put some pressure on. We've got also Jordan trying to put some pressure on Guna. It's a massive train of cars we've got again. Not a surprise after the restart, but we're on board with Zettervall. And actually, look at the run that Guna's getting at Zettervall here. It has to wait for now. Patience the key. So we're about to go. I think they're going to get DRS this time. I think it's lap 2. No, they're not just yet. Maybe it's the next lap then. But Zettervall makes his way past Connor. Connor goes into defence mode, but Guna's getting attacked here by the McLaren of Jordan, who was the one that took Nelboy out. He moves up into 9th. Guna down into 10th, and Nexton will now be the next to have a go. And look at the run he's getting, so he's going to be through as well, I think, here. So Guna loses 2 places within 2 corners. Hasn't really done a whole lot wrong, but Nexton is flashing, so that's going to be good news for Guna. Tuck in behind, charge yourself up. Berserk nearly 2 seconds back from the Williams now. And the Rayman still putting some pressure on. Hayward trying to desperately stay in that DRS zone, and Bog's doing a good job at the front of this chain. He's now got Zettervold behind him. He's done well to hold his position. Come on, teammate. DRS is enabled. Jordan's passed Connor. And we've got Zettervold having a go at Bog here. And he's going to get the inside line. So this should be done before the corner. As they come round together, they're leaving each other space, which is really good racing from the pair of them. Zettervold just edges it. But you can see again that his ERS light is flashing. So he will become vulnerable at some point. Look at this. We've got 4 cars going 2 wide each. Oh, Nexton just getting caught up there with Guna, and Connor is bottlenecking this a little bit, which is causing all the cars to want position as quickly as possible. Guna's going to get a brilliant run here on Nexton, and DRS is going to be open. They're all going to get it, but Guna's getting overspeed, and he's going to get Connor as well, and Nexton's going to have to go on the outside. Look, we're 3 wide. Nexton just trying to get back in, and Connor gets shoved. And is that TGL Stewart trying to come through? He makes a move as well. Look, we've got even more. We've got Reliot trying to find a way through. We've got Connor really struggling on the inside of the corner. And Connor is the car here that's just getting absolutely swallowed up. And I feel for him. He didn't do a whole lot wrong there. He just had car after car, wave after wave, just coming after him. And we've got Maradako now taking him up on the inside. And Athanasiou's going to want to get past him pretty quickly as well. So I think Connor's lost about 7 places in about 4 corners there. So yeah, sorry for catching that, Con. But yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate moments where you had a train of really quick cars right behind you. And you get a little bit out of shape, and that's what happens. Everyone's hungry. But we've got Jordan now putting some pressure on Bog. They're side by side, but Jordan has to back out of it wisely. But look at the Alpina, who's now out of shape, and Bog's going to have a go at him. So there's plenty of fighting going on in this field. Can't really take your eyes off it for a second. The Rayman, look, putting some pressure on Berserk, and then you've got all the mess behind it. Look, 10 cars all within hardly any. You can pretty much put your hand out the cockpit and touch each other. Sounds a bit weird, but you get my point. Look at the straight line speed of the Rayman with the extra DRS. He's going to chuck the car down the inside. Can he get it stopped? He can. Nice move. So Berserk down into 4th, and this is great for the Williams too. And actually Wazza has caught the back of his teammate and will get DRS, and it looks like they're working together a bit now. Not sure. I don't think they'll be on comms together, but they're working together really well. Berserk putting some more pressure on the Rayman, and the 2 guys in the Williams will be loving the fact that there's a fight going on behind them. It's just going to help them build this pot. But look at this. Got so many cars all on the same corner, really. Looking to gain a position. And just like we saw with Connor, really, if you can get one car out of shape, suddenly everyone wants a piece of it. But I must say, this is probably the closest racing I've ever seen here at DTR. So the people that put the divisions together have done a brilliant job of making sure that we've got people at the right pace. And look at that, a lunge up the inside from Zettervold. That was heroic, I'd say. But does it without making too much contact, if any. But again, he's got his ERS light flashing. He's got to take some time to charge that, because this race will be very, very long if you don't have any charge whatsoever. It's turned off again now, which means he's over 10%. But we know it's not far off that, and he's flashing again already. And the car automatically uses some at points. And we've got 2 cars side by side, the Rayman. And is Zettervold going to try and do a double sweep? He doesn't. He forces Rayman wide. Rayman's like, nope, not having that, mate. If you want that position, I'm staying in here. But Zettervold managed to defend it really well and is now up into 4th. And he's got 2 cars. They could be 3 wide going into this flat-out right-hander, but they're not. They've had to pull out of it. So the Rayman stays in 5th place. And Berserk would do well to start driving away a bit here. And Hayward is the car that's got out of shape, which means that he's getting swallowed up by about 6-7 cars. So he's lost about 4 places. Yeah, one mistake here and suddenly you're losing God knows how many places. Jordan and Nexton now fighting, and Jordan got hampered by the car. Rayman in front of him, but he's going to use him now as a bit of a blocker for Nexton. Nexton trying to use him to sweep round the outside. Jordan manages to keep his nose in there. We've got yellow flags. I don't know what it's for. Watching too much going on here. Zetavolt actually, Looker, you can see in the distance, has just managed to get past Berserk. We've got Jordan looking at Nexton, that's what we're watching, and Stewart, you can see he's got so much straight line speed, but look at Nexton now having a go at Rayman. He's flashing, so he's not going to be able to use his ERS to get past him. There's close battling, there's wheel to wheel there from Nexton, and look at this, we're too wide a bit further back here as well. But Nexton's going to squeeze through, and he squeezes Rayman wide on. Jordan just gets a piece of him as he starts to rejoin. Nothing too bad going on there. We've got a little bit of a battle going on a bit further back. That's Gunnar and Hayward. Gunnar has got a bit wide, keeps his momentum, and these two are fighting all the way down to this latest chicane. Jordan gets through on Nexton. We're just watching this battle with Hayward and Gunnar, and Hayward keeps the position. What about a bit further forward? Can we go on board with Gunnar and watch it? I need a break for a second. I haven't stopped talking for like 3 minutes straight. Reliot gets through on the Rayman. The Rayman seems to be the car out of position on this lap, which is costing him time. Hayward running out of ERS. Got to charge that up, and he runs really wide. So Gunnar comes through. Mikey also finds his way through. We've got some more yellow flags. I think that's behind. I think that is Hackett still. Nothing that's going to cause a safety car anyway. And it's actually a Ferrari, I think. Is it Maridaco? Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, it has brought out the safety car. I think he got stuck. Oh, man. And look at the gap for the Williams. They had a 6-second lead. That's going to be a nightmare for them. And I'll tell you what, DKMN has done a brilliant job there. Dived in the pits at the right time. But the leaders didn't pick up the safety car, which means that's not going to give him too much of an advantage. If they had picked up the safety car, he would have been in a big... He would have got a big gain out of that. But as it stands, we're just going to have to watch them go around for another couple of laps, guys. And the Williams team are going to be gutted. But I think you're probably going to have to come in and take some softs here. Some people will want to stay out, but I think the softs will just be too much quicker. Problem is you don't want to lose track position, so I'm going to leave it to these guys to decide what to do. I think if I was them, I would come in and I'd put some soft tyres on. Problem is, they can't double stack, so Waz is probably the one that's going to have to stay out. There's only about a second between them. And it's only a tyre change, as long as Javi doesn't have wing damage, which I imagine he hasn't. Wazza can maybe just back off a bit and try not to get held up. Either way, he's going to lose a bit of time. So yeah, not good for Williams this. Cost them. Wazza is going to follow him in, so they are going to double stack. I think it's the right call. They're both going to go on softs, I assume. And I imagine that some of these lot will stay out. Jordan is coming in, Stewart's coming in. I think Nexton is going to try and stay out and win it from the front. And I think everyone else is pitting. I don't think the Williams team will be too distraught with this. I think they had a big enough gap here to double stack as well. What's going to happen? So Wazza versus Berserk, I think it is. And he gets out in front of him, so it's worked out fine for Wazza there. So yeah, good call from the Williams team. They're now in 3rd and 4th, and they've got 2 cars with old tyres in front of them. We've got Nexton on mediums. Probably not a bad shout for him to stay out, but I think they're going to struggle with a whole group of soft runners behind them. And Nexton was, I think, hoping for another couple of cars to stay out, just to give him a bit of a buffer. But yeah, I think they're going to be very hard to stop here, the Williams boys still. But it'll be disappointing if they don't get a 1-2 after the way they've driven today. They've been very good. So just about another half a lap to go. Before we get going again, hopefully. So safety car is coming in. Nexton will take control of the start of. Oh, and I was clearly not watching there because was it Haywood was at the front and must have pitted and has dropped back. So now Nexton in huge trouble with all of these soft runners just behind him, and he is on his, was it 13 laps? 10 lap old medium tyres, got fresh soft tyres all behind him, but Nexton has got raw pace, so this is going to be an interesting battle to the end. Xavi all over the back of him, does not want to allow him to get away here. We've seen how big the DRS train can be. Wazza needs to close up a little bit really if he can, but I'm assuming Nexton's going to go out the back end of this corner and he's giving himself a nice wide line. Here we go, he's going to go, I think. No, he's holding off a little bit longer and he's taken him by surprise. That's a great start from Nexton there. Xavi not done too badly in the end. Wazza trying to put him under pressure. Not too much to talk about just yet, but as we look back, I'm sure we'll see some cars poking their noses out that want to get through, but Nexton retains the lead. The two Williams behind. Now it's all or nothing for those two. I'm sure there will be no team orders about who wins this, but surely it's in the two Williams' hands. Xavi mainly because he's got his teammate as a rear gunner for him, but Berserk looking racier on these soft tyres. But Wazza, Xavi was all over the back of Nexton there. Wazza manages to take a bit of advantage from the fact that they got a bit close. Berserk's actually dropped back a bit. Xavi's through. Wazza's going to have to wait here. And if he can get the grip out this last corner, and you can see he's lining it up. Look at that, and that's a brilliant exit from Wazza. That's class racing, but he's got a 3-second penalty. He's run a bit wide. He's going to get through, so he's now got to get down the road, and he's going to have to clear Berserk. If Nexton can do a job holding them up, he'll be grateful forever, I think. But he's already managed to pull about 6-7 tenths, so he needs his teammate to help him out here. If they can clear Nexton before the DRS opens and build that 6-second lead again, that's what they need to keep Wazza in that second place. And I tell you what they could do at the end of the race is actually swap around and see if Xavi can protect him. But yeah, that would be a big call, and I don't think they're on comms together to discuss that, but they are driving away from Nexton, so they've got to do it quick and build that gap to Berserk as quickly as possible. Jordan trying to put some pressure on Berserk, so this is the good thing for those two Williams out in front, is that all the cars behind are going to be tussling for position. And look at this, Jordan going for a move on Berserk in sector 1. This is... oh, and there's some contact. Jordan actually runs wide there, but he was the car trying to make the move, and he's now under pressure from Zetterville. And this is all playing into Wazza's hands with the 3-second penalty. Really, it's all in there, as he had some trouble at the start of this race. Gets a really good launch into the straight, but Jordan must be running something crazy on the straight line there. Pulled away brilliantly. Nexton has let Berserk through. I wouldn't say he's let him through, but he's been overtaken by Berserk. So a second and a half, the Rain Man's dropping back. But those two Williams now really need to work in tandem here and see if they can help Wazza to a place, as Nexton is getting pressured by Zetterville, who is also through. And the battle here continues, which again is going to play into those Williams' hands as long as they don't fight each other. And look at the queue of traffic. Let's watch it from Jordan's point of view. Nexton's flashing and not coming in is costing Nexton here, but it was worth the gamble. I don't blame him for trying. He's a very talented guy, Nexton. Because Reliot has to run a little bit wide here. Chucks it down the inside. Gets a bit hairy. Jordan actually loses a bit of grip. And Reliot then has to do the same. And Guna, his brother, is putting some pressure on him now. And there's a second gap to Stewart. So Wazza 2 seconds away from Berserk now. He's got a second to make within 3 laps. I think they can do it because they're out of DRS. I think this is the time they're going to start doing it. And here, brother on brother action. Sounded dodgy, but I'm talking about overtakes. Oh, Guna. Nearly chucking it up the back of his brother. And Reliot gets run wide there and picks up a penalty. He'll be trying to get that done, but Wazza does actually take the lead. Like I said, they don't want to be fighting, but Zettervall behind is fighting. Wonder if it's just a bit of DRS from those two at the front to try and help each other. Reliot within a tenth of Jordan as Jordan overtakes him. Or I think there's a bit of a battle. I don't know if he overtook him in the end. But watching on board from Guna. And yeah, Xavi might just be trying to protect Wazza a little bit here. But there's no point in those two fighting. And Xavi doesn't even have to overtake Wazza here. Guna just a tenth back. There's a lot of points to play for here. Nexton is moving backwards because of those old medium tyres. Reliot's putting some pressure on Jordan. The Williams are not really spreading this gap out, but with the two gaps combined, Wazza is safe. And TGL gets past Guna, if you just saw that in the background. So Guna tucks back in to try and overtake him. I assume Stewart will be quite slow in a straight line based on the fact that he loves to run a lot of downforce on his car, but makes it stick. We'll see if Guna can get back through on the straight. Been a relatively clean race. We have had 3 safety cars. Not too many incidents to talk about as Athanasiou gets up to 12th. And yeah, Wazza is in a comfortable position here, and Xavi knows he doesn't have to push him around the track because he's got the 3-second penalty. And you can see, look at the gap that's just opening up there. And we've got a bit of action here. Nexton again getting swallowed up. The Alpine of TGL is through. Nexton runs a little bit wide, Guna's hoping that he can get a good launch, but the angle gets covered off, and that puts him under pressure from Mikey. Mikey up into 9th now through Guna. Can he get past Nexton? He's making inroads. He is going to chuck it up the inside. Fair play. Now you just got to make sure you don't make contact. Nexton is pretty aware. And again, good racing. Mikey makes up 2 places in 2 corners, but Nexton trying to switch back. Oh, and a bit of contact, and that's going to allow Guna through then. Nothing intentional, I don't think. But again, we'll let stewards deal with that. Well, if it's reported anyway. Nexton down into 10th now. Bog on the back of Nexton. But there's still a lot to sort out in these points positions. With only 2 laps to go. And Wazza is now within striking distance of Zettervall. So Zettervall is peeling them back. So those two really need to start working together to see if they can get as many constructors' points as possible. But I think there's different parts of the lap that they're strong in. So they're going to get the DRS with each other. So I'm sure that gap will continue to open up. Berserk with a 3-second penalty. And actually, that protects Wazza now because they've all got penalties behind him. So his teammate currently is going to win this race. Zettervall has a 5-second, Berserk has a 3-second, and Reliot has a 3-second. So he is safe for 2nd place. And as long as his teammate doesn't pick up a penalty, his teammate will win the race. So, oh, and he does pick up a penalty. So now he has got to overtake his teammate. Just as we were talking about it, the carnage. So, oh yeah, Xavi's got work to do. Is there going to be team orders at Williams now? Or are they just going to be allowed to fight for it? And Jordan is set to pick up some big places here. And here he is fighting with Reliot. But he's also got TGL right behind him. Going to keep on that an eye on that gap at the front. Because there's 1 more lap to go. And actually we're getting into a DRS zone, so let's watch it. So is Xavi going to push hard now? He's got some ERS in the bank. Wazza's got a little bit less. And here he comes. I don't think he'll do it here. I think he'll back out. He doesn't want to give him DRS down the back straight. That's sensible. Reliant gets past Berserk a little bit further back. So Williams v Williams for the win. Zettervall has started to reel them in. He's not going to be close enough though, unless one of them makes a mistake. Or they both crash into each other. Touchwood, they don't do that. Wazza, can his first finish of the season be on the top step of the podium? This is going to be the defining moment. Xavi on the charge. Wazza surely has to defend the inside. He doesn't. He allows his teammate through. That's interesting. But it's an easy one. I think even if he had defended the inside, he would have been taken. So Xavi in the lead right now. Reliant and Berserk still fighting it out. We're going to stick with the lead of the race here. Williams on Williams. Xavi is flashing. Is Wazza flashing? I'd assume he is. Yeah, he is. You've got to empty the tank here on the last lap. And the Mercedes is actually doing quite well in 4th and, well, 7th now. Stewart's got back past him. And this is going to be an amazing sprint to the finish here. Can Wazza hold it together? Can he push hard enough to push his teammate all the way to the end here? He's going to get some DRS right at the end, but the line is about halfway down this straight. So here we go. It's all going to be about this exit. And Wazza has made a bit of a mess of it. I don't think he's going to be close enough with that exit. Zettervall's just behind, so we're going to see Xavi take the win, and Williams thoroughly deserve it. 1st and 2nd. Zettervall's going to come round in 3rd. Well done, Wazza, for your first finish of the season. 2nd, Reliant. Then, oh, Mikey's got onto the podium because of penalties. Zettervall 4th, Guna 5th. Reliant then down into 6th. Bog up to 7th. Congratulations, teammate. Berserk down in 8th. Must have been because of penalties. Nexton finds his way back up to 9th. Stewart in 10th. And then we've got Evan in the Haas in 11th. We've got Rayman, Athanasu, Hackett, Maridarko, Haywood, Connor, Jordan and Honky. And Nelboy, the only non-finisher of the race. But Nexton actually ends up DNFing. Why? No idea. But well done, Xavi. And well done, Wazza, as well. They've drove flawlessly today. And thoroughly deserved that win, and that safety car looked like it was going to put some pressure on them, but they both double stacked and gave themselves the best possible opportunity of picking up maximum points here today, and they've done that. So well done. Xavi on the top step, his teammate Wazza right next to him in 2nd, and then we've got what was Zettervall in the Alpine actually becomes the Mercedes of Mikey in 3rd. The champagne's flowing. The Williams team are buzzing. Big result for them. And Mikey getting in on the action. So just to sum that up again, Xavi in 1st, Wazza in 2nd, and in truth, they were a level above the others today. Mikey, because of penalties, finds his way all the way up into 3rd place. Zettervall, who came over the line in 3rd, will end in 4th. Guna manages to find his way up because of penalties. He's in 5th. Reliant 6th. Bog with a great race. Hung in there. Didn't get penalties. Up into 7th. Berserk 8th. Stewart in 9th. Evan in 10th. And then we've got the Rayman, Athanasu, Hackett, Maridarko, Joe, Connor, Jordan, Nexton and Honky. I think Nexton actually did end up in the points in the end. I think there'll be a review back of what happened at the end there. And then Nell, unfortunately, did not finish the race. But it's good to see you back, Nell. But for now, that is the end of round 4 here in France. And we have Division 3 going on tomorrow, which me and Bog will be featured in. And look forward to you joining us then. But for now, thank you very much for joining. And we'll see you next week.